Nick Diaz smokes a gigantic joint with Tommy Chong. This is not a fake headline. This is not us trying to draw you in for some clickbait. It is a real story. This comes off the back of Nick Diaz having just, I would say, went through a very long suspension for continuously breaking the UFC's rules on weed. But as he has proven many times in the past, he could not give two flying pigs in the sky about what the UFC have to say. Yeah, I'm trying to change it rather than saying the flying.
That's for you, YouTube.
That's for you, your monetization rules. Trying to make some moolah over here. So we have images that we have to show you.
We have a video.
And we have videos that we have to show you. Please take it away with your gigantic Please take it away with your gigantic joint, Nick Diaz and Tommy Chong.
Get in the lounge. Just lounge out. Here, I'll get in the first one. Pass it to Tommy, Nick.
Oh, man. That's a rather large joint. It's like, I haven't seen anything that big in terms of marijuana.
I think I seen it in Scary
smoking.
Movie once. Remember in Scary Movie when he rolled the massive...
Did he roll the person into it?
Yeah, I think he did. There was a person in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Some poor little guy
There's
in that
a
joint.
billion movie references that could be made to at least that specific scene. However, two great Tommy Chong quotes that are worth reading. The thing about Cheech and Chong, we've brought more families together than Dr. Phil, but you can't exercise and be high. It's impossible.
Life blessings.
Some of these are great. The smartest billionaires I know never finished high school. I got my degree and my doctorate on the street and an advanced degree in jail. Oh, man. So the conversation I want to have about this, Francis, is, I mean, for one, obviously the Diaz brothers are not going to stop smoking, vaping, whatever it might be. Actually, USADA might still be looking into Nate Diaz's vape pen following the UFC 202. However, Nevada Athletic Commission has pretty much dropped everything about that. And again, a lot of theirs is just like the resist. They don't want to follow authoritative rule from the UFC. They don't believe in that specific rule. And they have their point being made that they don't put anything else into their body. Steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, they're clean that way. However, do you think at some point it's time to change some of the rules with weed in the UFC? When Joe Rogan has said that a lot of UFC fighters he knows smokes during their off periods, mostly because it helps with healing, it helps with pain, it helps with a lot of things in that way. Scientifically, we know this stuff at this point. Do you think they should change the rules? Do you think there should be a rule change? Or do you think that the UFC is a little afraid to do it because they don't want to give the Diaz brothers credit for that's why we changed the rules?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a cultural shift that is still ongoing, that through past legislation in most states, it will eventually lead to it being legalized. And at one point, once it's legalized, they understand that it is not performance enhancing. If anything, you won't be smoking weed before you go into a fight. I'd imagine it would do more hindrance than it would do good. But at the same time...
Just get hungry mid-fight.
Yeah, just munching on something.
Throw me something. That the bell rings for like the second round at the end of it, and you're just like
eating Oreos.
Like, give me some popcorn or something.
But again, you know my thoughts on this.
If there's a rule, don't break it.
Exactly. I could take the high road and think to myself, why would I go just reiterate this same point? But it's because maybe, just maybe, there's a 12-year-old who's probably the average demographic of our clips watching this one day and think to myself, I want to be a footballer, I want to be a UFC fighter, I want to be a boxer, blah, blah, blah. And I think, well, I mean, the Diaz brothers smoke all the time and it hasn't served them too wrong. But again, they're a unique case that they don't like that level of authority and they push against it. Hence why Nick Diaz hasn't fought in 2 years. Hence why it, again, will probably hinder him in the future. Rules are there. It doesn't matter what your view is on the certain rules. Like, just because shoplifting is a lesser punishment than going and attacking someone in the street, it doesn't make either of them right. There's still rules that are broken and you can face consequences for it. You are a fighter, you are an ambassador to the industry, you have a very privileged opportunity to do what you want to do for a living and to make some good money out of it if you focus all your attention on it. So why jeopardize it? Yeah, it's a great video. It's a great Snapchat. I liked it. It's funny, but
Tommy
again,
Chong's the man.
you can't complain. You can't have people out there saying, Nick Diaz just come back from a 2-year suspension. This guy just needs to get let off. He just smoked a joint that's bigger than my left leg on camera.
On a Snapchat. Without a filter, man. Come on, get more creative.
think my head hurts,
what
man.
if you attack the shoplifter on the street?
Ah, good point.
It's like a
Because then
Batman
you're doing
vigilante.
both, right?
It's like the vigilante system.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
Well, you attack the shoplifters. You're doing a greater
so
good.
you're doing a greater good, but it's
Maybe,
still
yeah.
wrong because
Could
you're
be loopholes.
attacking
Am
him.
I wearing a Batman costume though?
Yes.
Because if I do it in a Robin costume, I don't know if I get as much.
To wrap
respect.
this up, a little bit more BS about Batman. I don't find it believable that none of the people that he pretty much elbows with like Kevlar has died or has any effect to their life.
I don't kill anyone. But
I don't
just
kill
beat-
anyone.
Yeah, I just beat them with a large suit.
I
that
just rupture
weighs-
their lower discs in their back and they really can't live the same life. I want to make a series about all the people Batman has injured. That's my goal. And then Superman fixes him because he's a better person. Like, favorite, and subscribe to the video. What is Tommy Chong's joint bigger than? In the comment section below, let us
Good
know.
one.
At Francis
You just
underscore
started it,
Maxwell.
Jason.
I
Come
know.
back. You know what you
I
just
know.
started.
Is it bigger than Harambe? At Francis underscore Maxwell, at Jason Rubin 91.